Hello everyone, welcome back to Bangtan News today. Today we are going to talk about one of the most talked about trailers. A trailer that doesn't calm fans down, but instead opens up dozens of new questions about the relationship, dynamics, and closeness between Jimin and Jungkook. The trailer was titled, Are You Sure? And believe it or not, in just a few short seconds, the entire community was instantly excited. Everyone starts trying to read the context behind scenes that look simple, but give a ton of implicit clues. From the beginning, one thing was clear. The crew actually came in unannounced. Jimin and Jungkook are not preparing for filming. They are not wearing makeup, they are not looking after the image, and they are not waiting for the camera. Therefore, their reaction looks very natural, very honest. It almost feels like we're peeping into their private lives. The first scene features Jungkook. He was walking normally, as if he had just finished buying something or was carrying out daily tasks. No sign of preparation. No styling. No shooting vibe at all. Suddenly the crew arrives, and Jungkook is immediately shocked. He asked, "What happened?" with a puzzled, surprised, and slightly embarrassed expression. The scene was only a few seconds long, but it felt very powerful. Jungkook looks completely unsuspecting, as if we're seeing a vulnerable side of him, a small moment that is usually never captured on camera. Shortly thereafter, the trailer changed to Jimin. The atmosphere is completely different. If Jungkook is seen outside, Jimin is in a private place. He looks like he just woke up. The hair is disheveled, the face is natural, without any preparation. When the crew entered, Jimin looked at them in surprise and said, "Are we really filming like this?" The simple phrase immediately became the subject of conversation of fans, because Jimin usually always pays attention to details. He's a perfectionist. So seeing it in such completely natural conditions makes many people feel that the scene is very intimate. The room where Jimin was also a topic of great discussion. Some people believe it's Jimin's apartment in Korea, others suspect it's a hotel room. The footage doesn't give a clear answer, but the atmosphere of the room is warm and personal. This is where the big questions start to arise. If they were filmed separately, in different locations, where would they actually be? Are they in Korea? In another country? Or is this happening in the same timeline but in a different place? The difference in location is striking. Jungkook is outside the house. Jimin was in a private room. From their reactions, the two really didn't expect there to be a camera. This led many to believe the scene was shot on a typical day, rather than in a planned shooting setting. However, there is another interesting point. Before the trip to Switzerland, Jimin and Jungkook were in New York, and this is not a rumor. Many people saw them separately in that city. Their presence has been confirmed. From here was born the theory that most made fans flutter. It is theorized that the two may have spent several days together in New York without cameras before filming officially began. This theory does not come suddenly. Fans remembered the moment in the previous season when they said that before filming in Sapporo, they spent several days together in Tokyo without cameras, just the two of them, enjoying their personal time. Tokyo has symbolic significance for both. A place that is often considered a safe space, a comfortable space, and full of memories. Having said that, the possibility that New York has a similar vibe feels very plausible to many. If the theory is correct, then the sequence looks like this. They spend private time in New York together, then back to Korea, and it was in Korea that the crew suddenly came and caught them in what they were at a different time. This theory explains a lot. There's no New York scene in the trailer. Why their scenes look separate, and why their reactions are so natural and not artificial. In addition, this theory supports the idea that there are parts of their lives that they deliberately choose not to record on camera. Just like the previous seasons, there is privacy that they keep. From here comes a subtle romantic nuance, not an explicit or dramatic romance, but the romance that arises when two people spend time together is far from public attention. When they choose a moment to enjoy just the two of them, before returning to the routine and the world of work, the scenes in the trailer reinforce that impression. Jungkook's surprise on the street. Jimin's vulnerability upon waking. Their reactions are equally natural. Neither of them are idols. Not being an actor. Not posing. They are just two people who are disturbed in the middle of a normal day, and that is precisely where many fans feel there is a romantic touch. Not because there's a scene, but because the way they present themselves honestly, as they are, without preparation, gives rise to a sense of emotional closeness. The trailer is short, but it is clear that there is a big story behind the pieces. A story about a trip not captured on camera, stories about inaudible laughter, stories about the days they probably spent together before the camera started working. The real beauty lies in what we don't see. On the missing part. On the mystery behind that brief moment. As of now, we don't know for sure the sequence of events, the actual location, or the reason behind the trailer's scene selection. However, the pieces given were enough to spark great curiosity, and maybe that's the charm of Jungkook in this trailer. The attraction is not in what is shown, but in what we can only feel. On silent things that are not mentioned, but are felt between the seconds of the footage. At the end of the day, we're all still trying to piece together those little puzzles, but until the full episode is released, we can only wait patiently. One thing is for sure. This trailer doesn't answer anything. It just makes everything more confusing, but maybe that's the goal.